We spend a lot of time in our lives getting from A to B, and usually we hope it will be effortless. In a city, of course, it's different. One road, three kinds of movement: cars, bikes, and people. Often they clash, and sometimes it's deadly. Can we tame road rage? That's what we're talking about. First up, to take us into the life of working cyclists, we hit the road with bike messengers Sunny and Leah.
Vroom, vroom, bitches.
Lots of things I guess I love about cycling. Number one is that I get paid to do it now.
Like, I don't have a boss breathing over my shoulder every day, all day. He's not checking up on you every, 5 minutes. You're pedaling wrong, or... Go ahead. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Am I in your way? Like, seriously, no one's going anywhere. I swear to God, when I'm her age, I hope I'm not a rotten old hag. Like, really, people who honk their horns aren't doing nothing but yelling at you.
I think it's very easy for people to not understand when you're in a car and there is a close call, just how violating it is for the person on the bicycle.
I'm not an anti-car type of cyclist, but there just needs to be a little bit more compassion. I mean, why do you have a driver's license if you're not responsible for the safety of the people around you as well as yourself?
Everyone's so busy, so wrapped up in their own worlds. It's just too easy, just for a moment of inattention, to not see someone, and you can change someone's life.
Being really angry is probably the absolute worst thing. Like, buddy, calm down. Oh, hello, Blondie. Come on over. Let's have a hug. Maybe not.
I think when you have an altercation with a car and you're on a bike, your adrenaline is up. Probably your immediate instinct is to yell, scream, accuse.
I was almost car doored by a girl last night, and I turned around and was just like, hey, excuse me, miss, can you just look first? Next time you want to get out of a cab because you almost hit me. Friggin' jerk, like, looking at her cell phone going, I'm sorry, I'm not from around here.
The appropriate response, hopefully, would be, oh my God, I'm sorry, I didn't see you there. But instead, too often, potentially because they feed off the biker's adrenaline, they're like, you.
You're just a crazy courier. You're a psycho cyclist. If I came up to you and I almost punched you, and then go, ha, get over it. Like, dude, that's really scary stuff. It gets me down about humans, and, but hopefully, all the aliens will get here and vaporize us all so we won't have any more problems.
I was coming into an intersection, and a lady was coming the opposite direction, and she was trying to turn left. She turned left in front of me, but it was wet, and I couldn't stop. Hit the side of her car, broke 3 ribs. She just completed her turn and kept right on going. I couldn't wrap my head around the fact that she wouldn't have stopped for me just to see if I was okay.
Immediately following the incident where Al died, was murdered, I would even go so far as to say, a lot of cyclists that I know, a lot of messengers, were baited into arguments. Before Bryant got off killing Al, I believed in the justice system. I really did. But now I don't, because it's not a justice system, it's a legal system. And if you have the money, you get off. Why should I follow a system that's not there to protect me? There really are no rules on the road, man. If you want to run a red light and no one's around in your car, go ahead and do it. And if someone ends up, walking across the street that you didn't see and you kill them, keep going. Because you're only wrong if you get caught. And that's the message I'm getting. It's disgusting.
Sunny mentioned the Michael Bryant case. Now, for those of you that don't know, Toronto bike messenger Darcy Allen Shepherd was killed in an altercation with a car driven by former Ontario Attorney General Michael Bryant. In the end, the charges against Bryant were dropped as there was not enough evidence to convict. Now, Sunny, how did this case change things for the biking community?
I think a lot of the cyclists that I know realized that there was really action for us. I think it really let down a lot of people in the cycling community that he didn't have to answer for himself. He didn't have to be cross-examined, and no one challenged his actions.
And we have Leah in the audience. Now, you were involved in a somewhat high-profile altercation with a car. In hindsight, what do you think you learned from that?
I think the best lesson that I took away from that would be to be less angry, to be more diplomatic. Take that extra second to take a deep breath, even though, your life may have just been threatened or ended. Just to honestly, going at someone angry, I've never once in 10 plus years riding every day ever had that come back positive for me.
Leah's absolutely right. Your first reaction is anger. But, you know, that obviously doesn't get you anywhere. But I've started to just say, you know, why are you mad at me? Why are you so mad? And a lot of the times, you know, drivers, when you actually get them to that point where they have to answer, the one time I got someone to actually answer, because you just scared me. I'm scared right now.
I'm interested in some of the cyclists in the room maybe responding.
When we fought all these years for our bike lanes, the few that we have got, we still find all these vehicles parked in the bike lanes every day along College Street. It's ridiculous. And I approached one gentleman, I won't say which company he was from, but it was a Canadian-owned big box courier van. And I asked him why he was putting people's lives at risk by parking in the bike lane. He said, I've got to do my job. And I said, yeah, but why are you parking in the bike lane to do your job? Is this what your company tells you to do? How do they train you to do this job? And he said, I'll run you down. And this is the attitude we see all the time out there.
I'm interested in what you have to say, Matt, because I know you're a driver, but you're also very level-headed. So what do you think about when you're on the roads and seeing the bicyclists around?
I try to be pretty good about, you know, watching my space, because I don't want to be in a crash. I mean, it would be a hassle. I mean, I'm motivated to not crash. I almost killed one of you guys one day because I opened my driver's door and I hadn't looked. I had no evil intent. It was just I got where I was going and I wanted to get out. This was a long time ago. I hadn't been driving long. I've never done it since. You know, I learned my lesson, but I think, you know, what Sonny said, it makes perfect sense. Why do drivers come out angry? Because we're frightened. Like, it's scary. No one who's in a car who's a responsible driver, which I know probably isn't everyone, no one wants to hurt or kill someone. I'm not going to lie. I got out of the car, I was angry. I was really torqued up, and I yelled at the person, what the hell are you doing cutting so close to me? His response was nonverbal. It involved one finger. And then he was on his way. So, I mean, no one was hurt in the situation, but it's something I learned from.
Thank you, Matt, for that. Now, after the break, we're going to get the view from a car, but first, a bike story from Calgary.
Calgary road rage, at least downtown, there's too much predictability with the way that traffic flows for people to get upset. From a courier standpoint, we're in and out of traffic so quickly that you don't really have time to get mad directly at us. We're already running the next light, kidding. But road rage mostly happens on my commute home. I get a lot of cutoffs, I get a lot of horns, and even people yelling out of their windows, you know, get on the sidewalk, what are you doing? And you learn to brush them off rather than react back at them, so.
But you're not worrying about everybody, you're worrying about yourself and your
How
family.
are we worrying about ourselves?
You're worrying about where your money's coming from. You're not worse than life
If we
you
were
almost
worried about,
extinguished.
worried
You
about
really
money,
need to do that, sir.